All right, everybody, welcome back. JD here to talk about USA hockey. It starts tomorrow, and I couldn't be more excited to get USA hockey. We're finally back with the senior men's team. It's been a while. Obviously, Beijing did not happen for men's hockey at the Olympics, so it's been a while. And one of the most exciting things when it comes to this U.S. team is this is the best U.S. team we've had in a long time. Obviously, it's well known we haven't won the gold medal since 1980, and the Miracle team. And it just feels like this is the first time in a long time where you look at the American roster and you're like, pound for pound, these guys can match up against Canada. And I know a lot of people are mad about the people who aren't here, including me, pissed that my guy Cole Caulfield isn't here, pissed that my guy Lane Hudson isn't here. And we'll get into that a little bit, but for the most part, I'm so excited and ready to get behind these boys. It could be just an electric tournament for the U.S.
1, 2, 3. You sacrifice attitude, USA. Oh, mama, don't you cry. Oh, mama, don't you cry. USA hockey is do or die. USA hockey is do or die. Take a hockey stick in my hand. Take a hockey stick in my hand. Go on off to a foreign land. Go on off to a foreign land. Play said I'd be a star. Play said I'd be a star. USA hockey will go very far. USA hockey will go very far. Take the Gatorade in your glass. Take the Gatorade in your glass. We just kicked your. We just kicked your.
Come on, Craig, blow the whistle. Again.
Michael Ruzioni. Winthrop, Massachusetts.
Who do you play for?
I play for the United States of America.
That's all, gentlemen.
The lineup. I mean, we're not going to have many line reactions in this opening video. We'll kind of get into that a little bit more as we, go along here, and as we see them play, we'll maybe critique that a little bit more. But for now, just kind of look at it and see what people are up to, or what the coaches are up to be able to prepare. And right off the bat, you see the Eichel and Kachuk brothers. So this is according to Daily Faceoff, who we're going to go with. I think maybe the most exciting thing about this team is that center depth, because in my opinion, when you build a good hockey team, it has to come through the middle. And if you want to win, Stanley Cups, if you look back at teams who have won Stanley Cups, they always have elite play, especially at the number one center line. So you have Jack Eichel, who in my opinion is one of the best in the world. I don't think he gets enough credit in the conversations with McDavid and McKinnon for how good he is. I really think he's, at the same level really as those guys, to be honest with you, with his two-way play, especially when, playoff time has rolled around. I think he's usually very, very fantastic. So it's exciting to be able to have, just like a number one center that I look at least, and I see he's as good as anybody in the world. And on his day, he could run the game. Finishing down the middle real quick, you then go Austin Matthews, you go Dylan Larkin, you go Brock Nelson, and 1 through 4, we're pretty deep down the middle, and that's super exciting for us. It's about as good as you could hope for, and I think that 1 through 4, they all play different roles, and the question is, are we going to get the scoring Austin Matthews we didn't get in the Four Nations? Because while he played a strong two-way game, we did miss a little bit of that scoring upside, which, we're going to need. We're going to need him to, score goals. Then you get to Dylan Larkin and Brock Nelson, and it's insane that the U.S. is this talented down the middle. Dylan Larkin is one of the most underrated players, in my opinion, in the NHL. And I think the role he can do on this team is something that's really hard for a guy to do, which is take a step back from being what is probably the star on your team and the number one guy, captain of your team, and be able to take a back seat and play maybe a more of a defensive role. And then finally, Brock Nelson, you bring a lot of experience, a lot of grit. He can play that fourth line. So that's really, really exciting down the middle. And then the line combinations look like the Kachuk brothers to start on line one. Obviously, the health of Matthew Kachuk is going to be a huge talking point this tourney. They clearly missed him in the final against Canada and Four Nations, and you're just going to need him at full health because he's such a dynamic player and what he brings. And then the next combination is Gensel and Boldy. I kind of like that little guy, big guy. You got to score. You got two guys who could really put the puck in the net. Jake Gensel scored some big goals for us in Four Nation. I hope to see that. And Matthew Boldy is just having a fantastic season, and he's a really strong, big winger who can make a lot of plays for you. Then you got Kyle Connor and Tage Thompson, and this is the spot to me where I'm going to get into my first. I don't know about that roster choice. Kyle Connor scored a lot of goals over the last 5 years. I get it. He doesn't do a lot else besides score goals, and he isn't quite having as good of a season as Jason Robertson or my guy Cole Caulfield. I would have liked to see Cole Caulfield make the team here, especially as a little guy. I think he would have worked well with Larkin and Thompson. I'd also maybe like to try Hughes on this line. Hughes, Larkin, Thompson might be pretty electric. And Kyle Connor to me is just one of those guys like, yeah, he scores. He doesn't bring a lot else when he doesn't score. So to put him on a line that could be a pseudo checking line for you with the way that Thompson plays, with the way that Larkin plays, it just kind of confusing to me to put him there. And then finally, you've got Jack Hughes on a line with Brock Nelson and JT Miller. And I think you're going to ask a lot of Jack Hughes if you're going to ask him to play a fourth line role and check. And I guess he's really there for 3-on-3 and overtime and defense. But again, leading the league in goals this year in overtime is Cole Caulfield. He's been electric in the 3-on-3 overtime since he came into the league. And he's just a guy deeper down the lineup in a playoff scenario, in a power play scenario where you need a goal, or in a gold medal game, it's 3-on-3. He's the kind of guy who could break it open and score the big goal. He's proven that in his young career. So I just think that's a big miss not having him. But overall, really, really strong team, and there's nothing to not be excited about here. As we move down to the defense, this is really where it gets exciting because this is really the crux of this U.S. team. This is as good a defense as I think there is in the tournament. Quinn Hughes and McAvoy, in my opinion, are probably the best defensive pairing in the tournament. I don't really think it's particularly close. I happen to think, obviously Quinn Hughes is one of the best players in the world. And then Charlie McAvoy has just been a stalwart number one for the Bruins. So you have two of the best players in the world who have proven it over and over. And they're, having Quinn Hughes, who we didn't have at the Four Nations, it's going to change a lot of how this defense looks. You're going to go Slavin Faber on your second pair, which is a real shutdown pair. I really like that. It gives you a chance to kind of match up against top lines and gives you a real defense first kind of, line there. And if you kind of compare that a little bit as much as possible with that third line of Larkin, Thompson, and Connor, you're really going to have a shutdown five that I think you could play out there against anybody. And then finally, you have Werenski and Sanderson. Super, super exciting third pairing. Werenski is as dynamic as they come offensively, one of the best offensive defensemen in the league. And Sanderson is probably the most underrated defenseman on this team. And he's the guy I think who probably takes the biggest step and opens a lot of people's eyes this tournament because I just think he's a fantastic player. I know he plays for Ottawa and they're not having a great season, but he's going to open some eyes with the way he plays. And I think he fits perfectly with Werenski because he's super smart and he'll take the chances when he needs to kind of support Werenski, but he's also happy to kind of fall back and let Werenski kind of run and gun his way into goals. So I think that's like a super exciting pairing to have. And then finally, as we get to the goalies, it's Hellebuck and Ottinger that look like the guys on the goaltending. And I think both are going to play, and we're going to see who gets the net. Hellebuck has not had his best season. Probably had one of his worst, to be honest. And I think just Winnipeg in general has been really bad. Jake Ottinger's coming off, a playoff fail and getting his coach fired. So while they're both really, really talented, I don't know that we have an answer in goal right now. And so we'll see. That's something that I think we'll have to see. When it comes to the specialty teams, The first power play unit looks like it's going to be Thompson, Eichel, Kachuk, Matthews, Hughes. I mean, that's awesome. That's as awesome as it gets. And then this is an interesting one because there really isn't a center on this second power play unit. You got Gensel, Brady Kachuk, Matt Boldy, Kyle Connor, and Werenski. I know Brady Kachuk can take draws, so that might be what they're trying to do there. He can definitely take draws, and he's been pretty effective at it in Ottawa. When it comes to penalty killing, you've got Brock Nelson and Matt Boldy. That might surprise some people, but Matt Boldy is a good shot blocker and he's a tough player. And then you've got Dylan Larkin and JT Miller, Slavin and Faber, and Hannafin and McAvoy. Although Hannafin does look like he's probably not cracking the top six, he will play. Looks like some penalty kills. So again, I think they dress full seven defensemen in this tournament, so it'll be interesting to see how they mix it. And then you've got your goalies. So all in all, I think you got to be as excited as you can be for USA Hockey. This is the best we've been in a long time. We're the clear number 2 team in the tournament, and I think we can go toe to toe with Canada. We'll see if some of the omissions, Lane Hudson and Cole Caulfield, Jason Robertson, we'll see if those end up biting us. If we're not able to score big goals in big moments, we're going to have to question what Bill Guerin was doing, leaving talented players like that at home. But overall, I'm so excited for tomorrow. I'll have a video up tomorrow after the game, recapping everything that we've seen. So stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for more USA Hockey coverage from Domed In.